Hey there, welcome back to Tennille Talks. All right, y'all. So in the middle of the reading, we have somebody that is confused. They are confused and they are under some type of illusion. This person is coming out as broken, somebody that cannot be fixed, okay? Now, mentally, this person is confined. They are in a prison. That is in the present moment. They are in a prison. They have gotten sad news. The sad news is that you are in alignment. They are broken. You are in alignment. Now, this person is wanting to make a plan in order to kind of fix their situation or actually fix themselves. The plan is that they want to clear the past in order to heal the present. In order to clear the past and heal the present, you would have to be in agreement with that. So that's the center, that's the present. Let's look at what happened in the past with you and this person. Now, this may have been somebody that you were involved with. And I'm kind of getting the idea is romantic. This is somebody that maybe you were interested in and they were interested in you, but I get the energy of dragging their feet. Now, this person is coming out as very carnal and materialistic. It's almost like this person wanted you to sit and stay stuck in a mental prison. And as long as you were in that mental prison, and it also says abused, right? And so this is somebody that consciously wanted to abuse your mind so that you would always be indecisive, right? And so they never wanted you to decide to leave. They never wanted you to really come up with a plan of action based on them. So they've got you in this prison mentally, and they're abusing you. When I see abuse, this is intentional, right? This is like mental magic in order to lock up your mind. But the thing is that as a divine being, whenever your mind is locked up, your intuition takes over, right? And so this person thought that you were stuck. They thought that you were going to stay put, but really your other brain kicked in when you didn't have access to this one. This relationship that felt like a mental imprisonment for you, it felt like abuse. It's coming out as a karmic bond. And so this could have been a past life relationship. This relationship could have reflected a lesson or a cycle. You know how sometimes you're dating different people, but the experience that you had with person A is identical to the experience that you have with person B, C, and D. Those are cycles. Those are karmic cycles, and those are karmic bonds or karmic lessons. This person could also have been a past life connection. You guys have done this other lifetimes, not just this one. And in addition, you would probably describe this relationship as an unstable connection. Not because you were unstable, but because this person wanted you to be unstable so that they could go off and play. They could go off and do something else. And so as long as you were in this prison, as long as you were enduring the abuse that they were causing you, this person seems like the reason why they didn't want to commit to you or why they didn't want you to leave the prison is because they did not want to divorce their desires. And so those are all the earthly things. This is somebody that didn't see your wealth initially, right? And so they lock you away, hoping that you'll just stay put. But listen, if you're not worth a damn, nobody is gonna, why not just let you go, right? And so this is almost somebody that knew your worth, but still wanted their cake and eat it too, like that kind of energy. So you're abused, you're indecisive, and they're playing somewhere. They are karmically connected to other people, and for a period of time, you and them had a karmic connection. Now the thing is like all of us can have karmic connections, but it really depends on how we respond to these situations. Now, this person had a choice. When they cross paths with you, we all have choices, right? This person chose to trick you. And so when they came into you, they came in to scheme you, to deceive you, to be deceptive, to gaslight, and to manipulate you, like out the gate. They never intended to be honest. They never intended to be upfront. And so they wanted to use you, but not in the way that you were willing to offer yourself, right? And so they're only looking for material, carnal things. They're not necessarily looking for love, relationship, and commitment. This person is coming out as a fellow traveler. This is somebody, it says support is all around you. And so this is somebody that had the potential to be supportive. Maybe you were supportive to them, but it's almost like anything you gave them, they just went back and poured it into the world, right? And so this is cars. This is any type of wealth, any type of desire that they had, but this would have been a fleshly or an earthly desire, right? And so when they think about the things that are valuable, they think about these things: cars, clothes, titles, degrees, like, you know, only things that apply to life on earth. All right, so that was the first mistake. The first mistake was choosing to be deceptive, right? You could have been a fellow traveler. You guys could have been a support system to one another, even if it wasn't like monogamous, right? Something about this connection, and maybe because you had past lives together, right? But something about this, the fact that it was a karmic bond, meant that you both were supposed to learn a lesson. Now, you totally can be in a karmic bond with somebody and only one of you learns the lesson. So this is somebody that wasn't mature enough. They were not able to meet you where you were. So they enter the relationship deceiving you, which is mental abuse. Here's the next level. It's your sacral chakra. So one of the reasons why they didn't want to let you go is because of this, your sacral. So now I get the energy of harvesting, but I don't have to guess too much because we have love spell, right? And so this is somebody that recognizes your value, right? And so listen, in order for somebody to recognize your spiritual value and your spiritual energy, this is somebody who probably is spiritually gifted, or they have some type of spiritual insight. Now, did they use it appropriately? It doesn't seem so, right? And so they choose to deceive you because they're only wanting your sacral energy. That's your sexual energy, that's your emotional energy, and that's your creative energy. This is somebody that wanted to take that energy in order to convert it into material, earthly, or worldly assets. But here's the thing. They are now recognizing that your sacral chakra, like they're enlightened, it's been illuminated. Your sacral chakra is protected by the angels. And this one says, you are cherished by the angels. And so I've heard somebody say that the angels are the military of the cosmos. And so can you imagine your sacral chakra being the property of the cosmic military, and somebody entering into your space or your life in any type of relationship with karmic behavior, where they literally want to take your energy that doesn't even necessarily belong to you, like it belongs to the military, meaning it is protected, right? And so if something goes missing, if something damages you, like you've got a tracker on your sacral chakra, right? Because what you are supposed to birth, what you are supposed to create here is for the cosmic world. It's for cosmic life. It's for the evolution of Earth, right? And so it's not for one person to just harvest bullshit. Like, it's really for a greater purpose, which is why you have the protection of the angels, because your energy is sacred and it is that big, it is that divine. And so this person, very karmic, he or she, they want to do this love spell. Now, when you do a love spell, it's almost because you want to bind somebody, or you want to keep somebody in a certain state, a certain existence. So maybe this was a sexual relationship. They liked the sexual experience. They didn't want to let the sex go, but they didn't necessarily want to commit to anything long term. Now this person is coming out is overwhelmed, right? And so you've got this love spell, and this is how they are feeling. The reason why they're overwhelmed is because they needed to connect to you so that they could continue to get the offerings. Whatever your sacral chakra offers, whatever it gives, whatever it develops, like whatever it can provide, that is what this person did the spell on. It's almost like they want to come back and get it. Anytime they need a dose, anytime they need a re-up, anytime their tank is low, they essentially want to come to you. But in order to make sure that you stay put, some type of spell work has to be involved. But again, there's no spell work that can be done on you that the angels, the military of the cosmos, is not going to know about. Not only that, as long as you were abused, it was going to impact your ability to ascend. And so here's the thing, this person did everything karmically that they could have done to keep you in this state of indecision, meaning you don't leave, or you're battling yourself. You think, oh, they're going to return, oh, we're going to be together. Like, you know what I mean? Because the behaviors, and listen, that is what the spell does. Sometimes the love spell is going to make you think that the attraction that you share with another person is bigger or deeper than it really is. But that's just some type of supernatural influence. This person is very carnal. They only care about the materials. But the problem is that yes, they may have confused your mind, but at the same time that you really couldn't decide what to do or where to go, your intuition kicked over. So everything that you couldn't decide, intuitively you started to find the answers. Once you start finding the answers, this is what happens. You're coming up as being connected with the ravens. I'm sorry, y'all. So it says messengers, ancient wisdom, magic, spirit world, life and death, right? And so you have a connection beyond the veil. There were some readings that I would do, and the ravens or the crows would kind of circle or make themselves present, either physically, like in sight, or by sound. And so for a period of time, you may have been in prison, but I feel like the natural world started to communicate with you in ways that kind of unlocked you. It removed you from whatever the spell was that this person attempted to do. So not only were you protected, but you're also a sacred messenger, right? And so your sacral energy, it truly is because you carry ancient wisdom. You carry ancient magic. And so if you carry ancient magic, how does that compare, or how does that stack up to a love spell, right? And so for this person to be overwhelmed, overloaded, and exhausted, it's like at no point in time did they think that the love spell was hard to stick, or the love spell was a challenge for them, because it's like they didn't consider your soul. They didn't consider who you were or what you were carrying inside you. If you are walking around earth with angelic protection, then you have to know that you are carrying something truly divine, and not everybody carries that, okay? So right now, that same person in the past that came in to deceive you, right, and to bind themselves to you, that is the person that is confused. And so they've gotten some sad news, they've gotten some messages of concern, and whatever plan they had for you, and they didn't necessarily have a plan for you, they had a plan for your energy, right? They already counted. What did they say? Don't count your chickens before they hatch or something. It's almost like they already counted the value of you, but they didn't consider who you belong to, what your purpose was. Like they didn't ask those deeper questions. And why would they? They're carnal, right? They're materialistic. They're in the earth. Some of us are in the earth, but we're not of the earth. And so this is somebody playing around in your energy and not recognizing how mighty it is. And so right now, this person is broken. The same mental prison, the same confusion that you were in is exactly where this person is sitting. Now, the next part of this reading, it talks about you can't fix them, right? And so we have the energy, and I get the mature man again. This man comes up again. So we get the energy of discipline. One of the things that this person, and it literally says hatred and envy, one of the things that this person hates and envies about you is your discipline, right? Because if you would just take a day off, if you would just take a week off, if you would just forget to pray, please forget to protect yourself, please forget to commune with the Most High. Like, can you just not do what you were divinely called to do for one day, right? So that whatever this illusion is that I cast over you would not shatter, right? And so any illusion where you thought you could fix them, and maybe this could have been a relationship where you lingered around or you stayed a little bit past, the expiration date, because maybe you thought that there was something more that you could do for them. But this was an illusion. This was somebody that always came in from day one, wanting you to not know whether to go left or right. Like that was their behavior. This was their intention. They just needed you to stay locked into them energetically so that they could always use you for offerings, right? Tithes and offerings. So once this illusion is broken, now it shows that this person is compromised, and they're compromised because they don't want to let go. I have 4 of coins, right? They don't want to let go. So whatever they did to you, they only got 4 coins, but they didn't recognize that you were the whole bag. This card says financial growth, cash windfall, investments, assets, inheritance, good fortune, money comes to me. What if they had treated you right? What if they never cast the spell? What if they didn't attempt to bind themselves to your sacral? What if they didn't do the love spell, right? What if they didn't play games? What if they didn't lie and deceive? The wealth would already have been shared with them by way of them being honest and moving with integrity. And so this is somebody that fucked you over for 4 shitty pentacles, not recognizing that you were the whole bank. They got $40 out of a whole bank. And the $40 that they got, they don't want to let go. Right? So not only are they holding on to everything that they got off of you, but they don't want to let you go because you are the bag, right? But this is somebody that they tricked themselves out of the spot. Like they did this to themselves. And so it's almost like they cast the spell. They were under their own spell. They were under their own illusion, right? Because as long as they thought that you were stuck and sitting, they didn't know that intuitively you were being guided. Like you have messengers, you have ways of finding out things that are hidden or unseen. Like that is what you do on a soul level, on a divine level. And so nothing can be hidden from you. And even if they do magic on different aspects of you, I mean, you are just an advanced soul. So there's always some type of hack. There's always some type of cheat code that your vessel is going to provide you. And sometimes your vessel is led or guided by the natural world or the spiritual world. So you're disciplined. Now, the type of discipline that you are coming up as somebody who is patient. And so this could have been a situation where you knew that like this isn't right, this doesn't feel good, I'm not really sure where to go or how to respond, but it's almost like you were waiting for divine order, right? If you don't have an answer, well then you wait. And so you were patient until the Most High says, okay, now this is what like you wait for the correct order. So while you were waiting for the order, this person thought that they had you. No, not at all. Not at all. You understand that everything happens in a certain time, in a certain place, like things have to unfold. And so you don't rush. Even when the situation doesn't feel good, you still didn't attempt to rush or force or push, which is why this person probably felt that you surrendered, you were subdued, and that they had you locked in and locked down. Not only are you patient, but you're disciplined. Meaning, that's what I'm saying, this person, like, can you just not pray? Can you just, we only need the faith of a mustard seed. Like, this person, it's like they're annoyed with your connection to the Most High, but they don't understand that you are ancient and you carry ancient wisdom. And so it's not necessarily something that you plan, it just is you. And so finally, when the Most High communicates to you, this is the message you come up with. It says, fuck what they say, verbal abuse. So somebody could have been verbally abusing you. And remember, this is about locking up your mind. This is somebody that could have spoken one way, but anyway, they used their words to kind of cast the mental spell, but they also did a love spell, and then they also fucked with your chakra. So this is somebody that went in. They went in. But now the problem is that they're suffering, they're afflicted, they're delusional, and you don't care. You have no emotional attachment, because when the divine order came in and you were told to step away, to stop talking, or to disconnect, you did it. You were just waiting for the order. You weren't necessarily waiting for them to return. You were waiting for the order. You were waiting for the green light, right? So this is about your obedience. This is about your faith, and this is about your patience. The first relationship you are in is with the Most High. And there's no earthly relationship that can trump the connection you have with the Most High. Now, I also have the energy of marriage and parenthood. Now, you remember you had a past life connection. So a part of you two crossing paths, maybe marriage and birthing children together, maybe that was on the table. But now you have no emotional attachment. Now you have set up a boundary. And so the connection that could have unfolded from the very beginning, they mishandled you, they mishandled the time, and so now you're gone. Now you're not accessible. Literally, game over. Under game over, we have Knight of Swords. This is the fastest moving knight in the deck. And so this is somebody that recognizes that those 4 shitty pentacles that they just had to have, not only are you losing them, not only are they losing the pentacles, but they're also losing you. And so maybe now they're ready for marriage. Maybe now they're ready for children. But I don't even think that would be true. I think that they are looking for ways to contract themselves to you. They're looking for ways to bind themselves. Marriage is a form of a contract, and then having a child with somebody. You have energetically bound yourself to that person for essentially the rest of your life. And so now this person is trying to think of, well, how can I get in? How can I get in and stay in? Whether their heart is honest, pure, and has integrity. I don't see anything about that. This is somebody who doesn't want to let go of the bag. You are the bag. You are a financial asset. You are a financial resource. But it is game over. And we also have view from above, which says get the big picture. So you already see the big picture. Now, you could have saw it a long time ago, but again, in divine order. You got to wait for the right time to get the right move, the right instruction, and the right download. Sometimes when we act out of ego, we respond too quickly and things kind of unfold in a way that we don't intend to. And so your faith and your discipline and your patience is essentially how you beat this person. With faith, discipline, and patience. That is it. And that is how you won. So it is game over for this situation. And so there may be somebody returning. There may be somebody who is in a compromising situation. And they almost hate the fact that you are as good as you are, that you are who you are. You know, like, it's like they loved it as long as they had access to your energy, but now they hate it because they can't have access to your energy for the same reason. You know what I mean? It's like there's no room, no space to deceive you. There's no room to lie to you. You carry ancient wisdom. You have sacred vision and sacred sight. All right, y'all. I love you. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.